Welcome to This Week in BJJ, the only show running the gamut of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and running it live every Friday night.
Hello guys, welcome to a brand new episode of This Week in BJJ. Today is December 6th, 2012. I'm Budo Jake, here joined as usual with my buddy, co-host, and training partner, Dane. How's it going, Budo Dane?
Dude, it's going really well. We were at a certain secret filming last night, and I've had a certain technique on the brain ever since, so I'm super excited.
That's right. We're here with the creator of the Berimbolo, Samuel Braga. Sam, thanks for coming in today.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity.
Multiple-time world champion, owner of Gracie Barra Knoxville.
Exactly.
And
Yes.
an accomplished instructor.
Awesome.
Also joined with Edwin Nmajmi. Edwin, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having me.
You're an active competitor. You are the youngest guest we've had on the show.
Awesome.
And you also run your own blog, Best of BJJ, right?
Yeah.
What's the blog about? What do you do on that?
Just Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu news. It's like a lot of unique content, but I just like to get like the videos out, you know. I compete, so I teach classes, so it's hard to do like unique content. So just trying to get the videos out there, whatever I can see, like I find interesting. So it's all for fun, you know.
Right.
Because I never found something that like a Facebook fan page that like had all of them, you know. Some of them are biased, so there's no bias, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I see video, oh man, that's cool, just put it on there. So it's not to get views, to make money, nothing, just pure fun, you know, pure enjoyment for the sport. So
That's cool. Well, we have a lot to talk about with you guys today, but first we need to introduce the remaining guests. That is our drinks. I didn't have much time this week, so I just opened up my refrigerator and brought whatever I had.
Please no Tabasco sauce. Please no Tabasco sauce.
Samuel doesn't drink, and Edwin, he's too young to drink, so we brought soft drinks today. We got mango creamy soda,
Oh, look at that. Goody stuff.
Thai iced tea,
How can I get the Thai tea?
got an aloe juice here,
Oh,
Those are super good.
oh there's really
probably
good.
the healthiest one, and my personal favorite, Japanese melon cream soda. So go ahead and grab one, whichever one you want, guys.
Oh.
Or you can share, just have a little bit.
Yeah,
Maybe
sure.
someone.
Just let's get this started with
Yeah.
this aloe vera here. They say it's really good.
Yeah. It's one of my favorites.
So Edwin, how old are you?
19. I turned
19.
20 in a
Any more
month.
on this one?
I'll try that one. Go for it.
19 years old. And tell me about a typical week for you.
And make us both jealous.
Yeah,
Week or day?
go
No.
for the day.
Okay.
Make me
so
jealous too.
Monday, wake up 8 a.m., make breakfast, best BJJ, articles. 9 a.m. we go train with Homolo, so like 5-10 minute rounds usually on Mondays until maybe like 11:30, 11 o'clock. We have a break till 12. Then we do the class at 12, the regular class, advanced class, and then at 1 o'clock we do another 5-8 minute rounds, 5-10 minute rounds. So maybe that's until like maybe 2 o'clock. And I get like a nap, lunch. I come back at 5:30, do another 5, 6, 8 or 10 minute rounds, and then that's the day, Monday. So it's
So
like
I've lost track. How many times a day are you training, or how many hours?
3 times a
Three
day,
times.
yeah.
3 hours or 6 hours?
Each session is like maybe hour and a half, 2 hours each.
Wow.
So it's a lot. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm jealous.
Yeah. So basically, one day for Edwin is about my whole week, as far as number of training hours.
And 1/2 day from Homolo is the week for all of us.
Do you ever get burned out?
Yeah, sometimes, but Homolo is there screaming in your ear at all the time, so you can't stop. So if you stop, he goes, "Oh, you can stop. It's not a problem." But remember, you know, your rival says your name. He's training right now, and then you get like instinct, you know, you jump up, like burst of energy. So he has his ways of pumping you up.
Samuel, when you were Edwin's age, were you training that intensely?
Yeah, closely. I remember that, you know, at the time I was training that hard. I was Homolo also was training, and believe me, I think that until today I never seen anybody train as hard as Homolo, like by far. Like I would train like 2-3 times a day, and he trained like 5 times a day, 4 times a day, and sometimes even directly have to tell him, "Hey man, you have to go home, get yourself a rest." He almost passing out, you know, because not that he was tired, just because his body was already, you know, to a point that he was like, you know, maybe close to overtraining. Dracula always, you know, always pay close attention to their competitors. So he always oversee the training. So he's like, when he feel like the athlete was like about to get overtraining, he was like, "Man, go home, get some rest." So, but I think that I train hard, but I think home probably train twice hard as I did.
And how old are you now, Samuel?
Oh, that's an intriguing question. That's gonna be. I'm gonna save that one.
Samuel never wants to give out his age, but as you've aged, how has your training changed? When you look at Edwin, how you're probably training intensely or more intensely at Edwin's age, but how has it changed over the years?
Actually, my train now is a little bit different, but I train many times a day, but it's not as because I oversee my students and most they're my priority now. So, but even that I have my own session where I train, have a group of guys that train with me. So now I have to be smarter about my training. So now I know my body better. I know my limits. I know where I should push, where I should just hold back. And when I get closer to competition, I increase the intensity and many hours a day that I'm going to be training. So I think now the funny thing that is like when you're young, you kind of don't know where your body is at. So you're always pushing. You know what I mean? So you have your body, have the youth, so you can recover quick. Mm-hmm. So you can test your body as much as you can. But when you experience, you have a knowledge what you can do or not to do. You can by the experience create limitations or suppress limitations when you feel your body can do it.
And Edwin, you're teaching at Homelo's Academy as well, right?
Yeah, not a lot, just training along. So.
People always say that you learn by teaching. Do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, definitely.
How so?
Well, you want to be first?
Yeah, you remember the details, like, I don't know, like a lot of people think like my footlock is really good, so when I teach like the footlock, I don't know the details. Sometimes I forget, and then, oh, you're doing that. Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about that detail, and I think you too, right? You're saying the Berimbolo.
Yeah, when I start to show the Berimbolo, actually my Berimbolo got more accurate and sharp because I have to go over every single detail. I have to break it down the technique. So anybody from anybody type can do it. That's when I teach jiu-jitsu, that's my main goal. I want everyone, regardless of size, body type, or flexibility to do it. So I break it down in a way that the detail is going to be approachable to anyone.
Have you ever find yourself like getting ready to teach a technique, finding new details that maybe you didn't, maybe you knew them but you never really thought about them?
Yeah, I didn't even realize that I was doing it until the point that when I started to have to teach, it's like, yeah, you know what? I just see something that is really important here, and then you end up teaching them.
Like this morning, I remember.
Yeah, this morning it was the one that happened today too.
Yeah.
So most people agree that you learn by teaching. But on the other hand, you see guys like Edwin who are young and able to focus so much on their training, they're able to do really well in competition because that's their main focus. And then when you open up your own academy, you see guys like Cobrinha and Omolo and all these other guys that when they had this sudden new responsibility thrust upon them, their competition performance dipped a little bit. How do you deal with that?
Well, I think you reach a point in life that like when you have two mindsets, That's what I learned and what I understood by my experience. They have two mindsets, You have the mindset of athlete, which you mainly focus, train, rest, and train. And that's it. You have to focus on how you're improving, you check your diet, check everything. But when you own your school or you're teaching, your mindset is not focused only on your training. It's also how your students are doing, how they're improving. So and as goals, you want to see, you're like kind of passing the torch for your student. Make sure they're going to do as well as you do. Because if your student win more titles be better than you, that means your teaching is as good as what you accomplished,
So if you're going to open up your own academy, do you have to just accept the fact that your competition performance is going to drop?
I think you have to be wise when and the competitions are. You have to pretty much schedule and plan everything, and then your performance is probably going to stay the same, but not compete as much. Mm-hmm. Then you have a time frame where you're going to focus on your school, and then a time frame they're going to say, okay, now you're going to set up everything so you can focus on your training. That's what I do.
All right, that makes sense.
So I know starting a new school is a lot of work up front. And let's say you had a friend that walked up and said, hey, I'm going to start my school, and he was a competitor. What would you tell him when he's first starting his school about like what to expect with competition and that sort of thing? Or would you tell him to take time off? Or
It depends. Like that's what I'm like. It's a really good question. It's like you have to set your goals. You know. Like what would you recommend? Like if you're a competitor, and you want to accomplish a lot of titles and you want to accomplish a lot in your career, just have that set. You know, move towards that goal. Be focused. Have to be 100% focused to be successful in something. You know, and because the beginning is when you have start to make the ball roll, so it takes longer. You know, just like like physics. You know, it's a pretty good analogy. Like when you push a wheel, and until they get the momentum, takes a lot more energy. Once the ball or the wheel is going, just a push is necessary to keep moving.
So are you satisfied with the balance between your focus on competition and your focus on teaching?
Right now, I'm getting there. I think like next year, I'm gonna be able to, as my school is growing, and now I have, I'm really blessed by the students that I have. They're giving me all the support. So next year, I'm gonna be able to come over here and train with Romulo more, because they train sessions amazing. Romulo pushes in the whole time, it's like, he's like this, it's your option, but he make you kind of guilty about it,
Yeah.
He's like, okay, guys, you're gonna do 10 rounds, but just make sure that if you're gonna quit, you're gonna feel, the pressure when you're competing, because your opponent probably training this harder. So we put like a guilt pressure on you, so you don't want to quit.
Right. Dan, you and I have talked about this from time to time, how nice it would be to be 19 years old and training 4 times a day. But, there's not a lot of money in our sport, yet it's growing, especially this year. But what's the long-term goal, Edwin?
That's the thing. So every day you think about that. So I don't know. Be the best, be the best featherweight black belt on the planet.
Your parents ever pressure you?
No.
Asking you what you're doing, spending all your time?
No, they support me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because when I was little, I was in I hated school. Kind of like an ADD, ADHD kid, get in trouble. So find something that steers me out of trouble. I used to be always a bad kid. Go out late, never answer my parents phone calls. So it's I don't know, makes me feel good. My parents comfortable. Then Romulo's kind of like a father figure. Takes care of me, everything. So. I'm not gonna do anything bad. Romulo's there. I'm scared of him more than my parents. I do something like, Samuel, don't tell Romulo, man, please. If he finds out, he's gonna kill me.
Did you start at Romulo's?
Yeah.
That was your first day of jiu-jitsu, was at his?
Yeah, I used to train a little bit judo, at Gokor Trivicin.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of his affiliate, one of his students used to do judo.
Are you Armenian? I thought you were.
Yeah. And I used to train just one time a week without the gi, no gi on Fridays. And I was like, man, I like this. I hate the judo part. I keep getting thrown. I like the guard and stuff. And one day I just saw a post, I think it was BudoVideos.com, Romulo Bahal opened a school, in Encino, or teaching at a school. I don't know who Romulo Bahal is, but everybody's talking about it at my school. Everybody's a fake MMA fan. Oh, this Brazilian guy is pretty tough. And then I'm oh man, 6-time world champion. I think it's just BS, And then I walked in, he's throwing these big guys around, huge guys beating everybody up. I'm like, oh man, he's pretty legit. And then started there. So from day one, I've been training with Romulo until now.
So you mentioned that you trained with Gokor a little bit. You're known for your footlock. Mm-hmm. Did you learn many footlocks from Gokor?
Yeah, but they're more reaping stuff, heel hooks. So the footlock I just adjust to the IBJJF. So I kind of worked out on my own.
And Samuel, you started with Draculino, is that right?
I started with Eric Vanderlei, one of his students, well accomplished as well. And when I took this, I made a decision to focus on jiu-jitsu. And this was I had 10 months of training. So I started training also with Draculino, train with both. And then I was getting more serious, the volume of training at Draculino, and the guys want to take serious the sport. Take to another level. Everybody was going to Draculino, so I was man, if I want to get my game to the next level, I'll be training with Draculino and Eric Vanderlei, and then I focus only with Draculino.
Tell us a little bit about how training was back when you were at Draculino school.
Man, it was awesome. I missed those days. It was basically, I'll get there, and we don't do much of warm up. Was basically just stretching and talking. Draculino is, how funny and nice guy he is. So you get there, you always feel welcome. You start stretching and talking, and then, go over the techniques. And then this sport, I'd be doing specific training. It was a really high volume of training. And, you know, you can see by the comments. I think that Draculino is the one of the instructors that have, you know, generations-wise, every single generation that he produced athletes, he had a world champion until nowadays. I think he's real well accomplished as an instructor because you know how many world champions he has as a student. You know, you can tell just by the results that how great he is as an instructor.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm really blessed with luck that having him, you know, he was right next door to me, you know.
Was it the fact that he lived near you? Is that why you started jiu-jitsu?
Well, I started just because of Royce Grace. I think everybody started like, you know, that way. You know, watching him, you know, being a smaller guy and, you know, beside the fact that, you know, he was overpowered and all that, be able to submit everyone in a cage. That took my attention.
So you call yourself the creator of the Berimbolo. Is that true?
I believe so. You know, the Berimbolo, before, of course, there's some people that maybe they hit the Berimbolo by a scramble, but who intentionally start to do it in a point that going to the back, you can see all the DVDs in my matches, you know, especially on a double guard pull, never done before. You know, I did that in 2005 in a world championship, and nobody ever done that double guard pull taking the back.
I think we're going to see that in just a moment here. That was the 2005 Worlds, right?
Yeah, and so
there we are.
Yeah, he was in the finals with Gabriel Moraes. At the time, he was like unbeatable. I started to work the Berimbolo, and then as I start to work his back, he sit down.
With the broken foot too, right?
Yeah.
You had a broken foot, yeah.
Who had a broken foot?
I had it.
You did?
Yeah.
It was like, I was like really swollen. So that's why I taped both my feet.
You did. So you.
So they could not tell which one was injured, you know?
Right. That's
Did
fine.
you remember how you started developing the Berimbolo?
Yeah. I started to develop the Berimbolo when I was a purple belt. So what happened is, I always did De La Riva from the beginning, you know, since a white belt. And I always do the, you know, when I was sweep, with the guy step forward, I would trap the sleeve and sweep. So a lot of people familiar with that sweep, they will not step forward, do the back step. A lot of people are successful on that pass. So I started to do when the people step back, I would roll back, trap the sleeve, and end up sweeping. So I had this guy at my school that I was training him. He was close to my weight. You know, in competition, I was having a hard time to get a sweep. So I was training him almost every day. He has a really good balance. It was almost impossible to sweep him that way. So I would be there in invert position, which is the Berimbolo originated from. So I started to be there for like the whole training session. And I started to figure out how I'm going to take him. If I cannot, he kept his hand away from me, so I could not reach. So I started to go towards the back. So I started to unbalance him. And one day, I kicked and ended up in his back. And from this point, I started to do the technique all the time. And it was funny, like Eric Van der Ley, I was hitting the technique on every single person at the school. And one day he asked the guy, "Man, are you dumb? He's doing this technique over and over against you, like every day. You cannot figure it out. You're so dumb." It's like, you know what I mean? Nobody ever seen that technique before. That was like early 2003, you know. And then I started to work on that technique since then. And then at the Worlds, and I started to compete, especially in lightweight, the whole problem is everybody wants to play bottom. That's the main concern. Everybody in my head, always when I compete, is like, man, if I pull guard, I'm going to win. You know what I mean? In my head. So it was like, man, I cannot go on top. So it's like, I'm not going to go on top. So I start to play with it. You know, you can see in the World Cup, you know, in the final match with the same guy, Gabriel Moraes, I started to do the Berimbolo there and working on taking his back. You know, so that's how. I think that's why it was the main characteristic of Berimbolo. Even in a double guard pull, you manage to take the person's back, you know.
But you weren't calling it the Berimbolo, right?
No, I was not.
Do you know where that name originated from?
Man, I think that they say that it's kind of bolo means cake. You know what I mean? So it's the fact that I think the people, I don't know who name it, is like you start to roll and start to like mixing a cake. That's I think where it comes from.
Interesting. So a lot of people out there don't know, but we were up late last night filming a DVD of Berimbolos from almost every position.
Yes.
We have a clip here that we're going to look at, but I was surprised at all the things that you showed. I haven't seen these anywhere else. And the way you do the Berimbolo is unique.
Yeah.
That's.
Never knew there was an armbar off of that.
I remember just on your first rehearsal, I was immediately taking in details. I was like, oh, I never thought about doing that.
Yeah.
So this DVD will be out in probably a month or two, and it's just loaded with all the different setups, all the variations, what happens when your opponent steps forward, steps back, tons of stuff on there. How to deal with footlocks from the Berimbolo. Did you put everything you know about the Berimbolo on that DVD?
Pretty much. Like this is years and years of, as you can see, the details that I show there, I don't think anybody or even a lot of people are surprised because they never seen a competition, anything like that. And I actually kept to myself because, that's why the same thing happened, It was like, man, this is going to be my stuff. Like during training I use a lot. And I decided to say, man, you know what? I'm going to share with this. Before, it's going to end up anyway. Once they happen in the competition and somebody's going to start doing, maybe they do more often than I do, and then start to tell that I'm the one that create the technique. So I decided, man, you know what? I'm going to share everything that I know at the position. As you can see, if every single position, every single step the person takes, they may change the angle, whatever it's going to happen. Or every counter, I have a trick, a submission or a different way to get to the Berimbolo. So as you can see, it's years. It took me, right now, next year is going to be 10 years that I've been doing. So it's all the knowledge that I acquired on this time frame, I'm sharing to everyone.
That's great. And Edwin, you've been training the position a lot with Samuel Braga.
Yeah. So learned a lot of details. Before in August, I was trying to do the Berimbolo all the time, but I could never get it, because just watching videos, it's a hard position to understand. So I called Samuel and I want to come there and train. What do you think? Stay with you for 2 weeks. He's like, oh yeah, for sure, come there. So 5 hours a day, I was getting Berimbolo by everybody. But when I went back, I did it to everybody at the gym, so it was worth it for sure. And everybody's like, man, when is Samuel coming? I want a private lesson. So this morning, I think he had 12 private lessons in a row.
Yeah.
So.
That's great. All right, guys, we got some stuff to talk about, a lot more stuff to talk about, but we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
BudoVideos.com, home of the world's largest selection of quality jiu-jitsu kimonos. Show-your roll, storm, tatami, bull terrier, venom, and others. Styles from more than 30 top brands in stock and ready to ship. BudoVideos.com. You're only a click away from owning a new gi today.
All right, guys, welcome back. So it is now Thursday. This Saturday is going to be a big day. We've got the IBJJF Pro League coming up. And Sam, you were going to compete in it. What happened?
Man, until I've been actually try to train, try to work some on my training, but it was been tough this last 2 months. I injured my shoulder, and I decided, man, I'm going to give it a try. But when I got here yesterday, I say I'm going to try, do a test drive and see how my shoulder feels. I lost all the power in this arm, on my left arm. It's been bothering me a lot. And even to sleep, last night was really hard for me. As I trained yesterday, really hard to try to overcome the injury. But it's like, man, on my last night, I had a really, really hard time to sleep. That was the time I woke up at least 4 times during the night.
Sorry to hear that. So Saturday in the morning is going to be the Long Beach Fall Open, and the evening will be the Pro League. I don't know exactly when the Pro League is going to start. I think around 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
And Edwin, you're going to compete in the morning's Long Beach Fall Open, right?
Yeah,
Winter
9
Open.
a.m.
How many guys are in your division?
I think 10, 9, around there. 3 fights.
It's a good number. So what's unique about this tournament is the Pro League is a paid tournament, $5,000 per division, and there's 2 spots per division that guys can qualify for from the morning tournament. So let's take a look at the first bracket. This one is the lightest guys. This is the rooster weights and light feathers. The lineup has changed a little bit from last week. Here you can see it on the screen there. We got Kai Otera, Koji Shibamoto, Lercio Fernandez, Daniel Beleza, Rafael Freitas. And the next one is to be determined, which it's pretty late not to have somebody in that spot.
Mm-hmm.
And it also has the first place, if we can get that image back on the screen, first place from the rooster and first place from the light feather. Interesting thing is there's nobody signed up in the rooster and light feather division.
Samir Shanti's not signed up in the light feather.
Well, it's not on that list. I know you mentioned
wow.
yesterday that he was going to do that, but unless that list isn't updated. So that's kind of interesting that at this point, if anybody would have just signed up, they would have gotten a gold medal and a walk right into the Pro League. So it's unfortunate. It looks like at this point, from the information that I have, there's only going to be 5 or 6 people in the up to 64 kilo division.
It's crazy.
Who do you guys think is going to take that division?
Go ahead, man.
You can go ahead. You're the world champion.
Well, tell me who's going to be in the finals matches. And who's
The
gonna
final
win.
match, I think, is going to be probably Caio Terra and Barata.
Mm-hmm. Yep, Rafael Freitas. And who do you think will win?
I hope Barata wins.
Mm-hmm. We saw them fight before. Was it the Worlds or the Pan? There was
Yeah,
Pan
they
final.
fought many
Yeah.
times already.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I hope I'm gonna put my hope on Marathon this time.
Mm-hmm. For your fellow teammate.
Fellow teammate,
Yeah.
yes.
Edwin, what's your prognosis?
I agree on the same page.
Okay.
So.
Dane?
Yeah, I mean, when I first saw this, I was hoping for a rematch of the Pans rematch.
Mm-hmm.
So hard to call, though. It could go either way. I don't know.
Yeah. It's good.
I told Kyle that I thought it would be him versus Daniel Beleza, but for some reason, Kyle thinks that he's going to meet Daniel earlier in the brackets.
Okay.
I'm not sure how they know that, but now the up to 76 kilos. This is the featherweights and the lightweights combined. We got Leandro Lowe, Lucas Lepri, Samir Chantry, Tanquinho, and Osvaldo Moizinho. So, Edwin, you mentioned Samir told you he's going to change to the lower division.
I think his name was already there because it was supposed to fight
Yeah.
Samuel, on the bracket.
On the brackets?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, maybe I missed that. So, ignoring Samir's name on there, who do you think is going to be in the finals of that division?
I think it's going to be Leandro Lowe and Tanquinho in the final.
Yeah.
And it's going to be tough fight in the final.
Match, yeah.
I mean, Lucas Lepri, of course, he's so good, so he can make it to the final. I think Leandro Lowe, Lucas Lepri, and Tanquinho, they're so close, the talent. So
Right. And we saw them at the Nogi Worlds, but
Yeah.
the Zigi tournament will be totally different. I think.
Yeah.
so it should be really interesting. Yeah.
Okay, third division, this is basically middleweights and medium heavies. We got Otavio Souza, Romulo Bahal, Formiga, Bruno Antunes, Vitor Henrique, and Andre Galvao.
This one's a tough one to call.
And maybe DJ Jackson.
DJ
right?
Jackson
Right.
and
Yeah.
probably Ricardo Bastos as well.
It's probably the toughest division, I would say.
I think the toughest one.
For sure.
You know, is the one that has more athletes also.
Stacked.
Right. Do you think DJ will make it to the finals? I mean, I think we've all...
Everything can happen, you know?
And he's good and
Yeah.
works hard.
Yes. Yeah, he's good in his game plan, you know?
Yeah.
He followed his game plan, you know. Lloyd Irvin trace a plan for him and he executes, you know. He's really good on that. And they drill, you know, the game plan, I think, over and over. I think that's the reason he's been successful in tournaments at the black belt level. Because they have a strategy and everything planned, they follow that. But I think Home's going to win.
You think
sure.
Romulo can beat DJ?
Oh, man. I'm biased, but I'm going to tell you that I told Home already that if he fights, like, he has so much potential. People don't know how Home is until you see him train.
Gym, yeah.
It's something it's another level, you know. And I told him, man, Home, just go there, man, and do the way you train. I don't think there's gonna be anybody to stop him for sure.
I don't recall seeing Romulo Bahal versus Andre Galvao. Have they fought before?
They fought the Samurai Open
Okay.
last year. And I think Romulo won 2-0, I believe. Yeah.
That's the thing, looking at this division, Romulo's height advantage and his athleticism, it
Yeah.
makes him it makes it tough not to see him kind of as, at least at the very top of the heap here.
Yeah, exactly. But the Gracie Barra is probably they're gonna fight before the final.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing DJ Jackson will be on the other side with Andre Galvao.
Right.
So
Right.
I think that'll be a really interesting fight.
So we could see Otavio versus Homolo?
From what I've heard, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they don't want them to close, in the final.
Right.
So.
Right, and Bruno. So you got 3 Gracie Barra
Bruno
guys.
too.
2, yeah.
3 altogether. Otavio,
3,
Homolo,
so it's gonna
and
be
Bruno.
probably all the same side of the bracket, so
Uh-huh.
this way they.
This is going to be a Gracie Barra bracket.
Yeah.
The other one's gonna be.
It's like a GB internal on one side.
Yeah.
The last division is the over 88.3 kilos. We have Gustavo Pires, who's been looking really good this year.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bruno Bastos, Ricardo Evangelista, Tusa, and Stephen Hall. And now in the heavy division, Eduardo Telles is competing in the morning, so I think
Oh,
he has a
really?
strong chance of
Oh,
being in there
sure.
as well. Who are you guys' favorites for that division?
The way they bracket, if it was not like put all the teammates in on the first, second round, I would guess they will be Tusa and Gustavo. But that's they're gonna probably match them up on the first round, the second round. That's gonna be a tough call. But one of them for sure gonna be at the finals, because I know they're Gustavo Pires and Tusa. Tusa's been competing so often now. He's really good rhythm of training and competition. I think probably be in the finals.
Right.
And he's coming off that No-Gi Worlds win, too.
Mhm. And a lot of guys might not know Gustavo by name, but you might remember he's the one that did a flying triangle on Comprido
Mhm.
Yeah.
and flying
Nice
armbar
one.
earlier in the year with in Las Vegas. And from what I understand, he doesn't train that hard. Is that true?
Really? I've never met the guy.
I know him a little bit. He's a talented guy.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't train as hard as the pro athletes. But he trains, but he doesn't train hard.
Right.
I think.
So this is the first year of the IBJJ Pro. I presume it's going to be an annual event from here on out. But each division gets paid $5,000 to the winner, so a total of $20,000. How do you guys feel about that?
I think that's really good for the sport. Getting professional. I think there's some steps that have to be taken to order to just to keep improving. They're being taken. So I'm just surprised that not many athletes are competing. There's so
Right.
many big names. They're not actually competing, and it's funny that everybody say, "Oh, the black belt should be paid? Everybody complain about that when they actually take action and make it happen.
Nobody fights.
You see the list is kind of, at least in my point of view, is disappointing.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, for sure we're going to see some great fights, but
Yeah.
there's some big names here that you would have liked to have seen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's a lot of big names there, but I was expecting more people.
Right.
Because it seemed like it has how many open spots there in some divisions,
Well, there's 2 open spots from what I show here to be determined.
Yeah.
The other spots are guys that qualify from the morning tournament. But do you think that those vocal competitors that aren't on the list wanted more money?
No, I think December they're more like vacation. No one's training hard, right? In Brazil's summer, they want to go to the beach. So. But like you said yesterday, it shows how much the World Championship gold medal is worth.
Right.
$5,000 is not even close. It's
Right.
for all the guys to come. So.
Yeah, and also, I think right now just came in my mind that the Copa Podio too,
Oh yeah.
So some they have probably contract. I don't know how it works.
The guys at Copa Podio, they can't. I think right. They can't fight any other tournament unless the guy
Yeah.
lets them. So maybe he didn't let them fight.
Right.
Because none of the guys fight, like Shanji, Rodolfo. All the guys in the Copa Podio are not fighting, so it makes sense.
And a couple of people are injured.
Yeah.
You're injured. Cyborg's injured. There's a couple of other guys I'm not thinking of. But yeah, I think in general, December is not the best month for competitions.
Do you think it would help if they were earlier in the year?
I think so, because it started usually the athletes probably have off season. Some have off seasons. They probably take a break a little bit to recover for the next year, start hard. They didn't have Europeans and all that. I think they should try to fit in that tournament.
What do you guys think would be a good month or time frame?
Like September, maybe, yeah.
September?
Like with the
Yeah.
American Nationals, I think it's good.
Switch out the American Nationals?
No, maybe have the same thing. Like the American Nationals made the winners that qualify, they can fight I think it's a good.
It's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah, but I think part of the idea of this tournament is they're looking at the rankings, which take
Yeah.
place throughout the year,
Uh-huh.
and so you're qualifying for your spot based on your performance throughout the year. So it'd be hard to do it a different time of the year.
Maybe it would be
Yes.
right at the beginning. You see all the competitions throughout the 2012, And then the next year, that's gonna be the first competition.
Like in January.
In January, you know.
It's a good
Yes.
idea.
Right. So I want to remind you guys that this event is going to be broadcast for free on IBJJF and follow the Budo Facebook for the exact time, but I think it's going to be around 3 o'clock. And there's only going to be 1 or 2 matches going on at the same time, so it should be easy to focus on what you want. Sean Williams, Caleb, and I are going to be doing the commentary, so it's going to be a great show for sure.
Awesome.
Name one name out of the whole list of people who are you most excited to see this weekend.
It's a tough question.
One
I'm
name?
biased. One
Edwin,
fight.
we already know your answer.
Yeah, everybody.
One fight.
Homeless.
Yeah.
I'll say a match. I'd like to see Homolo go out. I think that'd be a really
I
cool
agree,
match.
yeah.
I agree. Yeah, that's probably the
That'd be the
That's
match
the
that
most
would definitely-
exciting match.
Yeah.
That'd get me on my feet is the Homolo go out match.
I agree with
Good.
it. Yeah. So a lot of guys are coming into town for this tournament, and there are so many seminars taking place in Southern California.
Yeah.
We're going to hit up 2 of them on Sunday. We're going to go to Caio Terra and Leandro
Mhm.
Lowe's seminar, and immediately after that, we're going to drive down to AJ Agazarm's
Is
seminar.
it Saturday? Oh,
It's on
Sunday.
Sunday.
On
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah. So
That's pretty cool.
great time to be in Southern California. If you're in town for the tournament, hit up those seminars. Anything else we want to talk about?
AJ's tournament's free. Just bring
Seminar.
a can of, or seminar is free. Just bring a can of food. That's worth mentioning.
Right.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
All right, guys, it's time to talk about some new products. So people are always asking me, how can I get a shoyu roll gi? Next one's going on sale in the next week or two. Don't have the exact date yet, but it's going to be a white gi with pink and gray hits. This one, a portion of the proceeds are going to go to breast cancer awareness. And it's going to be available in all the usual sizes and some special sizes for the women. Here you can see a clip of it. Women oftentimes complain about the way a gi fits. Women don't like having to wear a gi cut for a guy. And Shoyu Roll's been working on this for a long time, getting the cut just right. There's a few extra sizes specific to this release just for the ladies. Don't have the pricing or release date information right now, but stay tuned to the Budo Facebook for more details. One more item is the brand new no-gi rash guard. This is the carbon rash guard from the popular Jet series. These come in sizes small through XX. They're long sleeve, made in America, and priced at $49.95 on Budo Videos and Nogi.com.
Also,
Nice one.
live, the black on black looks really cool. It's kind of hard to tell in that picture, but the black on black looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at a piece of viewer mail. I got an email from John Kohler, and by the way, if you have any questions you have for the show, just email twibjj@budovideos.com. John asks, I've been training for 2 years and I really want to compete. What should I do to prepare? Competitor? Edwin, what would you say to a guy like that?
Wait, what was the question again?
He's been training for 2 years, hasn't done a competition yet.
Never, okay.
What should he do to get ready for competition?
Well, it's hard advice. Just get out there and do your first one and then see how you feel. It's hard because you don't know how much he trains, you know, what his mentality is, and the first tournament, it's really hard to win. You know, you're all jittery and everything. So
So for someone that was training for going to compete for the first time,
in 2 years,
right? How far out would you tell them they should start their training camp or really getting ready for the tournament?
say at least I think 2 months. Yeah.
2 months, 8
Yeah,
weeks.
8 weeks. Yeah. To, you know, to get like the specific drills in, you know, the positions you want to use. Diet right, you know, diet down.
Say your match is going to be 6 minutes long. Do you
Mhm.
think you should drill 6-minute matches to lead up to that, or should you drill longer matches?
Longer, I think, because then the 6 minutes is easy. So like at Homos we train like 10-minute rounds usually, and then you fight the 6-minute fight. It's really easy. Or 5-minute fight like IBJJF Pro. It's really easy. You can push the pace so much harder. So
Anything you want to add to that, Sam?
I think it's good. I think that first thing is when we decide to make to compete, you know, always try to train and focus on competition. Always make sure that, you know, consult your instructor. You know, I think he knows you better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He knows how your training is going, how your progress. He's gonna probably be able to, you know, tune your game and give you tips about your, what you need to do, and even the mentality of the competition and all that. I think the best person is talk to instructor.
Generally speaking, how do you guys prepare your students and fellow teammates to prepare for the mental side of competition?
You first.
Gotta believe in yourself, because if you don't, then nobody else can, So you could. Homo always says it's like 70% mental. You can, he says everybody trains hard here, but I think some people, he calls us out do you believe in front of everybody? Do you believe you can win the world championship right now if I put you in there? Yeah, Professor, I think I can win. Because if you don't believe, what's the point? You train hard, and you get on the mat. I don't know if I can beat this guy. You're never gonna beat him. It's impossible. You can get lucky once, maybe flying, something lucky, but consistently, there's no way to win if you don't believe in yourself.
Personally, I think 70% would be a low estimate.
I think it's more, yeah.
Well, 80% be the whole match. It's mental,
Mm-hmm.
If you don't think you're ready, you should be not even there.
I think some guys don't even train hard, and they believe themselves so much that they win. There's a famous quote, I think, right? I tell myself I'm the champion so much that eventually I become the champion.
Right.
I forgot who said it. But
It's Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali, yeah.
He told himself he was the greatest so many times he started believing.
No, like Jordan Burroughs. I don't know if you saw his tweet before the Olympics, before he fought. He said my next tweet will be my Olympic gold medal before he wrestled one match in the Olympics. Next tweet, Olympic gold medal. I told you guys, so it's confidence. It's not bad,
You set that bar, you have to rise to it, right?
Yeah. If you don't, you're like, oh man, I'm gonna be embarrassed the rest of my life. I said that. So, you gotta step it up.
When Lloyd Irvin and his crew were in here a couple weeks back, we were talking to Keenan about how he mentally prepares for training, and he said that Lloyd made him stand up in front of the rest of the students and talk about how he's the best purple belt in the world when he was a purple belt, and basically just say that, and like you said, until he believed it. Do you do things like that, Edwin? Positive affirmations or anything like that?
Yeah, sometimes. I think it's good. Tell yourself you're the best.
Samuel, how do you mentally prepare yourself and your students for competition?
Well, basically, you tell them usually the same thing. You have to believe, what they're capable. They're trained, they're ready, and they go there do the best. If they do the best, what they train, I believe they can win. They have to believe in themselves. So all the part from the training is always trying to motivate them. Even prior his match, like 5 minutes, I talk to them, make sure they're ready. Sometimes you close competition, some guys they kind of think, man, I'm not sure this should be here. It's like, man, you're ready. If you train hard for this, you pump them up before the competition, so they feel confident. You can tell. At least I can read my student. If I feel like he's not confident, I can tell. Then I go talk to him, bump him up. Then I can tell on their face when they're confident or not. So that's I think that's one of the goals of the instructor. Know your student so well, they can read them when they're about to step on the mat or while they're training, and tune their game not only on physically and technically, but also mental prepare them.
Very good advice.
Do you have any techniques to help that your students can do to manage nervousness?
Like what I usually tell them, is like, you think as a train, you're doing like going to do a round of training, but now you have to do it serious and have to be 100% focused. Do like you're doing training, but if you do like you're doing training, you can give 100%, everything you got, live on that mat, that's good. And believe in yourself the whole time, you're going to do, usually, 99% of the time you're going to succeed. Unless somehow, the guy is more prepared. It can happen too, But other than that, I can succeed.
Yeah. And I think other people see that you're confident too, and it's really hard to beat you, if you're confident. When you're on a roll, like Rodolfo, Felipe Pena, he wins every tournament. Keenan Cornelius, they look so confident. And you're like, man, this guy, he won like 10 tournaments in a row. How am I gonna beat him? And if he stands confident, if he's like this, like not confident, okay, I have a chance. But they win all these tournaments. They're like standing up is strong, confident. So how am I gonna beat this guy? He won 100 matches in a row, submitting everybody. So
yeah.
It's hard.
Well, I tell my students also, like for example, like we have a student. He's actually, has been competing a lot, and sometimes he compete against the big names. I tell him, man, you train as hard as he is training. he's a human being. You know what I mean? He's nothing better than you are. You have 2 limbs like you do, 2 arms, 2 legs. So there's no secret. He's not a Superman. So go there, do your best. You're ready. Pump him up, and he goes there. Usually do well. So a lot of people that had mystique, oh, this guy is like some unbelievable. There's not such a thing, man. There's like this mystique. You block yourself mentally of succeeding in something, even before you step on a mat.
Sounds good.
Do you guys try to research? Do you suggest that like competitors research their opponents, or is it better off that they go in like focusing more on their game, or?
Depends. Like at my level, I think everybody should know. It's just like, it's strategy. You have to know a little bit of strategy before you step in. Just like you're gonna jump in a swimming pool. You don't know how deep it is. You're gonna go there. You're gonna do a big jump. You don't know how deep it is. You're gonna hurt yourself, right? So you have to make sure how deep is the, even if you go into a lake, make sure how deep is the lake before you jump in. You know what I mean? You have to know the what you're stepping in.
All right. Great advice. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So before we head to the mats, Edwin, anything you want to close with, or how can people reach you?
Check me out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Edwin Nmajmi or Best BJJ. Be on there to answer your questions.
All right.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You can reach me, at the website gbknocks.com, and also my Twitter, Samuel Braga GB, and Instagram the same thing.
All right, great. So we're gonna head to the mats, and do you know what you're gonna show tonight?
Probably De La Riva.
De La Riva. Why do you like the De La Riva so much?
Well, when I started jiu-jitsu, my main goal is not get smashed. I was so small, and I was so I don't want to get in half guard. I don't want to make mistakes so they cannot smash me. And the fact the height, I'm not saying that it's impossible to play Sparta guard. For me at the time, I have some hard time to play Sparta guard. I have short legs. And I started to work at De La Riva because I've seen some guys that, De La Riva himself, he's not a tall and big person. So you might see some of my friends, train partners, they're close to my height. And they'll be able to control the opponent. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do De La Riva. Started working De La Riva since then, since I was white belt. So.
Do you think the De La Riva guard is the best guard for small guys against big guys?
It's hard. For me, it's personal. It's personal, no? Everybody likes one game. Some people like Sparta guard. It's like, that's why it's beautiful about jiu-jitsu. It's hard for you to rotulate, make a stereotype each guard for each type of person. It's more like personal option. I've seen guys in my way that do really good Sparta guard. I've seen guys that do, you can name each person that is really good at one guard. Like you have a guy that he's small guy, he does half guard, And you have, Bruno Malfacine, he does butterfly. He does a little bit of everything, but I see him mostly he does like butterfly, and he does X guard also. So you have all different guys that do different type of guard. That's what's beautiful.
That's right. That's the beauty of the art, right?
Yeah.
That's the art. We can all choose which way we want to go.
Yeah.
Great. Well, Edwin and Samuel, I want to thank you guys for being on the show today.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. We had a lot of fun. And let's go to the mats and check out a technique.
All right.